It's been said culture eats strategy for breakfast. Peter Drucker said that. People love to quote Peter. People love to talk about culture. Everyone seems to agree that culture is incredibly important to the health and success of the organization. No one seems to agree on what culture actually means. I've asked thousands of leaders for their definition of culture and received hundreds of different variations. The most common answer I get back, Seth, we're like a family. I usually respond back with, what does a family feel like? Because if I'm honest, I know some people with some really families. It's fascinating to me that we think culture is as critical to the success and health of the organization as we do, and yet we have a heck of a time describing it, let alone influencing it. So what exactly is culture? My favorite definition of culture? The formal or informal, agreed upon, attitudes and behaviors that are either rewarded or corrected inside an organization. Agreed upon, attitudes and behaviors. To be agreed upon means they're actually known, which means they get talked about. They get rewarded or they get corrected. Look around your organization today, look around your team. What are the attitudes and behaviors? What's getting rewarded, what's getting celebrated, and what's getting corrected? That's your culture. You can either intentionally set that or it'll get set without. Now, you don't have to be the CEO of the organization in order to influence and set that culture. The fact is, most of us probably aren't in a position to influence the entire organization's culture, especially if you're in a large business with 1,000, 5,000, 50,000 employees. But the question always comes back to, what can you control? What can you influence? And the truth is, you might be in a position to influence the culture of your division, the culture of your department, or how about just the culture of your team? If you're a leader, if you're an influencer, if you're watching this, you have power. You have the capacity to influence those around you and help shape this culture. But we gotta go to work. There's a couple of specific things that we can do to move the needle on curating a culture that we can all be proud of. Number one, clarify. We gotta get clear on the attitudes and behaviors that are important to you. And they can be anything. It could be courage, it could be curiosity, generosity, grit. What they are is less important than the fact that they are known and understood by everyone inside that organization or on your team. Number two, embody. This is go first leadership, people. We cannot ask anyone inside our organization or on our team to embody a behavior, an attitude, a virtue that we ourselves do not first exhibit. We've got to go first. You have to be a living, breathing example of it yourself every day you walk through those doors. Number three, celebrate. We got to be on the hunt. We're looking for people in the organization and on our teams that are the physical manifestation, the representation of these attitudes, behaviors, virtues, values that we've set forward. Who lives this every day? I love the idea of using story to create legends out of the people that live your values. Right? We want to spread that. Remember, what gets celebrated, what gets rewarded, gets attention inside our organization. So when we create legends out of the people who live these values, it creates this storyline that people are attracted to, and it spreads. Nothing spreads faster than stories. If you can create stories and legends around the values and behaviors that are important in your culture, it becomes contagious.